Well, good morning. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. Really glad you could join me today out here in the vegetable garden. It's a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania. You know, now's the time of year to be planting our warm weather crops. You know, we're almost near the end of May. Here in Pennsylvania, our last frost is May 15th. And so, you know, your warm weather crops like your cucumbers and watermelons and tomatoes and peppers. Well, anyhow, I wanted to share some tips and ideas with you today on how you can plant bush crop cucumbers in your vegetable garden. So thanks for joining me today. Follow me along and I'm going to show you where I'm going to be planting these bush cucumbers. So I'm going to be planting these bush cucumbers in my lower section where my potato patch is. And so right here alongside where I planted my strawberries. And so I'm going to be planting these bush cucumbers right here in this small bed here. So I ended up picking up these cucumbers here, Ray's Nursery. They were under $2. And let's just read from the label here. They always give you some helpful information on these labels. And so this is a bush crop cucumber. Again, it's not going to vine out like your other variety of cucumbers, you know, which will grow, you know, 6 to 8 feet more of a vine. You know, if you're limited on garden space or you don't want to build a trellis, you know, these bush varieties are perfect for that then. And this bed here is probably only 2 foot by 4 foot. And I'm going to be planting 2 of these in here. And the other 2 I'm going to be planting inside my lean-to greenhouse. But anyhow, this variety, it matures in 55 days and the fruit size is 8 inches. It says a space-saving type produces high yields of delicious 8-inch cucumbers. It's best in organic, rich, well-drained soil and water freely in dry weather. And that they also like full sun. Again, this is a warm weather crop like your, you know, like your zucchinis and your watermelons, your peppers, your sweet potatoes, slips that I just recently planted. You know, they all love warm feet. And so I'm going to be planting these in my composted leaf mulch amended with topsoil. And you just want to work through your soil anytime you plant. Make sure it's nice and loose, especially if you're growing like carrots and potatoes, sweet potatoes, any type of root crop. You really want to make sure it's nice and loose. So just work through your soil, make sure it's nice and loose. And you can even turn your fork around the other direction to make sure it's really loose. I had already put my alfalfa pellets in my soil here a couple weeks ago, and then I just take the back of my fork there and level it off. And then, you know, anytime you buy a market pack, it never hurts to pull one out just to inspect the root system. Make sure it's not root bound, you know, that it hasn't been growing in these market packs for too long. And so you can either take a hand shovel, or I'm just going to use my hand. I love using my hands in the soil. I always have them with me. I don't have to worry about losing them. I always do seem to misplace my trowel. And so, and like I said, I'm going to be planting 2 of these in here. So I'm just going to space them about equal here again, and then just take your fingers and press it in around the plant. Again, something very easy to do here. I'm also going to take one of my fence sections and cover these two plants. And then I'm just leveling off the soil a little bit with my hands. I also keep my fingernails short, really short, so I don't get too much dirt under them. I know you can always get a bar of soap and run your fingernails through a bar of soap before you go out in the garden to keep the dirt from getting underneath your nails. So anyhow, now with the soil nice and loose and everything leveled off, I always like keeping my gardens, you know, pretty organized and nice and tidy. So keep them nice and watered. You know, in this warmer temperatures, you may be watering these a couple times a week, depending on how hot it is where you live. And so, yeah, we love our cucumbers and our salads, and, you know, nothing better than just going out in the garden and picking your own fresh, you know, tomatoes or peppers or, you know, here cucumbers from your garden. I love the Sun Gold cherry tomatoes too. They're 1 inch in diameter and they're nuggets of sweetness. Again, something I just love to do is walk in the garden and pick the fruit or vegetables. So anyhow, that's pretty much what it takes to grow these bush variety cucumbers. Again, they're space saving and they're ideal for small places or in your garden. You could even grow these in a balcony, you know, in containers, or your back deck if you don't have a backyard or anything. These would be fine in a container. You just want to make sure they have a good 6 to 8 hours of sun, and it would be good also to fertilize these a couple times throughout the season. So anyhow, I just want to thank you for joining me today out here in the vegetable garden. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the section below. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so you can receive future videos. So anyhow, I hope you have a great day. So until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.